Morning, everybody. Lawrence Didsbury here. Day 7 of the 4,500 mile ride for charity. Thank you all again for your support. I need to keep this kind of brief. I tried to record a blog last night, but it ended up being too long and unacceptable for YouTube. So I'm going to keep this one a little bit shorter, and I'm going to try to rush through it. I'm not going to go over the whole program again, but in short, I'm doing a 4,500 mile ride for charity from Spring, Texas to Ottawa, Ontario, and back to Spring, Texas over the next 2 months. Including some time on business in Ottawa and a funeral in Connecticut and so forth. Anyhow, I'm also doing a social media and technology experiment using Twitter, Blogger, Google Latitude. I'm doing a Facebook group, a MySpace group, and so forth. So trying to connect using social media, 1 million or 10 million people and get everybody to donate $1, just $1, or whatever you can afford to the charities that we're recommending, or to the charity of your choice. Just all I ask is you try to donate and put a memo for 4,500 miles. Don't send the money to me. I'm not collecting or touching any money. I'm simply trying to provide an event that'll allow people to gather together and for a common cause to help the needy. So the ride's going great. Sorry I was offline so long, but I rode for about 24 hours. I took plenty of breaks. I was being safe. But I rode from Bentonville, Arkansas, all the way to Marshall, Illinois, where I am today. Well, I'm in Super 8 motel. I'm not camping tonight because I needed a hot bath really bad after being on the road all that time. It rained for a couple hours in Missouri, so I got to learn to ride in the rain. I rode at night. I greeted the sunset somewhere in the middle of Illinois. I have pictures from all that up on my Facebook group, the 4,500 Mile Ride for Charity Facebook group. Please get out there and join. Tell your friends. So real important, I'm asking everybody to just tell at least one person every day, right? Just one person, okay? And ask that person to tell one person and to donate money, right? You don't have to tell just one person. Tell 10 people. I'm doing the same thing, okay? I'm not asking anybody to do what I'm not doing. I know I talked to probably 10 or 15 people yesterday and the day before while I was riding. In fact, I'm going to give a couple of special shout outs to some people I met while I was on the road, and then I want to do a special segment covering a specific charity, and I'm going to do a series of those covering the charities that we're supporting. So for my shout outs, I'm going to start with Carl Sims. I think you've heard me talk about him already. I got waylaid at his bar, the first and last chance on the Oklahoma-Arkansas border out on US 3. It's a biker-friendly bar. I stopped there to use the facilities, figured I should buy a beer. Next thing I knew, I was embroiled in the stories from his senior veterans that were all hanging out. A lot of Vietnam veterans hanging out there. The stories were just too good, so I ended up passing the entire day there and only rode 40 miles on day 2. My goal is to ride 200 to 400 miles a day. So Carl Sims, thank you very much for your hospitality. Cody Williams and Laura Glode of hotbooty.com. I met them in a gas station in McKinney, Texas. They're also bikers. And before you start thinking that hotbooty.com is a porn site, this is actually a project of theirs where they have models that are posed with motorcycles, and they charge a subscription fee, and they donate that subscription fee to charity. Okay, very interesting, a little bit outside the box. So shout out to Cody and Laura. Marcus Milwee and David Mays at the C&W Bait and RV Park in DeQueen, Arkansas, where I spent the night. I camped there, and they gave me donated the wireless to the cause. Great guys. Thanks for the presents. Marcus gave me a wonderful hand-carved cedar bear claw, and David gave me a Zippo lighter with a guitar logo on it. Thank you very much. It's amazing to me that we make great relationships that quickly. George and Judy Lawson, I met them at a Missouri rest area, and they're from the Christian Motorcycle Association. I'll have pictures of them, and I think that's from either day 7 posting or day 5, I'm not sure. They're a couple standing next to the FedEx truck with their Chihuahua. Anyway, they're very interested, and they're gonna contact their friends in the Christian Motorcycle Association to support us. Tim, let me save Tim for a minute. I met a couple of cooks and cashiers at a gas station on US 71 and 540 in Arkansas. I'm sorry I don't know your names, but you're the ones who gave me the let me try the fried cabbage and listen to my story. Thank you very much. The checkout person I spoke with at Walmart in Marshall. Again, I'm sorry I don't have your name, but you have a charity event this weekend. I hope you connect with us. Look forward to seeing you. I spoke with a young guy who was recharging his phone at a vending station at the Illinois rest area. This 20-year-old man had been laid off and decided to just leave and go on a road trip. I appreciate his patience for listening to my story. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm not afraid to talk to strangers, and that's what needs to be done in this situation, right? You need to be an ambassador for this project. The front desk clerk at the Super 8 Motel here in Marshall, the one I'm staying in now, gave me a discounted rate to support the ride. Thank you very much to the Super 8. The owners of the laundromat in Marshall, Illinois. I think there's only one, so very nice family. They left the laundromat open late so that I could do my laundry last night. I really appreciate that, and I've got a picture of the laundromat also on the Facebook site. The bartender, her husband, and the entire bar at the Corner Tavern across from the laundromat, where I was spent a little bit of time getting to know the locals while I was doing my laundry. While I was there, I also had some conversation with George, Zach, and Cole, some young men there. And I want to give a special thanks to George. George just returned from Army Infantry service in Afghanistan, and I want him to know that we really appreciate his service. In fact, the town of Marshall is incredible in their support of the servicemen. There's yellow ribbons with the individual names and the units that they served in, whether they died or whether it was peacetime or not. And these ribbons are hanging all over the town. There's a beautiful memorial there, a war memorial there, where they have the names of every service person from the town who has ever served in the military, peacetime or wartime, etched in the bricks at the courthouse. It gives me the chills, that kind of American support and the support for our troops. Okay, enough on that. I've only got a couple more minutes. I want to highlight our homeless charities today. Okay, because along the way I met a guy named David, who was a homeless traveler, he described himself, with the Rainbow family in Cuba, Missouri. He had just come out of the woods from a communal gathering of these traveling homeless folks. And I interviewed him, and I'm going to cover that in a separate segment because it's a very interesting interview. And the Rainbow family's been around, I think, since the 60s, maybe. They're a loose-knit traveling organization of homeless people and journeyers, I guess, and they're living kind of outside the box with barter systems and communal kitchens and things like this. Anyway, I'll talk about that later, but I wanted to say hi to David. If I don't know that David even has a computer or will ever see this, but a very, very moving story. Tim, I met Tim in St. Louis at the Denny's early in the morning when I was pulled over there. Tim is a struggling crack addict. I also don't know that he'll ever see this. Tim was there with two other gentlemen who were also addicts, and they had been taken off the street that night by a lady that was with them, and I did not get her name, and I apologize, but she, out of the kindness of her heart, took these three men off the street and bought them a motel room at the Motel 6 next to the Denny's and was feeding them. And I got in this conversation with Tim about his addictions and his challenges, you know, and Tim's probably a 50-year-old black man. The other two men were also black men, as was the lady. Of course, that has nothing to do with anything other than just identifying who they were. They were standing around my bike outside, and I went outside to make sure everything was okay, and ended up building a relationship with these people. You know, so don't ignore people because they're outside your normal box, and you'll meet and learn some incredible things from people. So on the homeless front, I'm gonna post a separate video here in just a second because I'm running out of my 10 minutes that YouTube allows to cover. I want to cover some specific statistics about homelessness in Houston and Ottawa. So check out that video. I'll call it Homeless Charity Coverage or Showcase. Thank you very much. It's going to be a beautiful day. It's 75 degrees, beautiful, not a cloud in the sky, and I'm heading up to the Niagara Falls area.